Um, and also, you talked about how much of the British beer export that goes to Sweden. Can you?
Sweden is the top three export countries from England in ales on kegs.
Uh-huh.
And for some other companies, we're the largest export company. We have the Chapenin, which makes beers as Bishop's Finger and Spitfire. The Fullers, which makes London Pride and ESB.
Mm-hmm.
And also it used to be Young's company. I'm not quite sure how it is now because Young's were bought by Charles and Wells. So now it's hard to see the figures for just Young's company. But they've lost quite a bit since the merger.
What are some of the big brands there?
For the Youngs, they make double chocolate stout, winter warmer, 4x bitter. It's mainly also special London ale, special London porter. And one of the problems they have, contra the English community in Sweden, is that they usually 1 to 1.5% stronger than the regular ales. So the English consumers in Sweden seldom drink the young sales. It's Swedish people who drinks the young sales.
Okay,
Because it's too strong for many of the English consumers.
I see. So do you have a lot of British customers coming here?
To and from, it's not all that many. You mainly have Swedish people eating here
Okay,
and drinking here
yeah.
that are interested in English or other beers.
Yeah, my impression, just from coming here this time and from what I've heard before, is that Bishop's Arms is a really good quality place for beer lovers, and also you have a quite a good assortment of whiskeys too. But just coming here to drink beer is another kind of experience because of the knowledgeable staff and genuine serving methods. So this is for me as a beginner in this whole world of bar culture. It feels like a place that I should be going to more often to get an education, actually, which is nice. So you mentioned the smoking prohibition in England. But we have this in Sweden too, since a few years ago. What kind of changes did that create here in the Swedish bar climate?
There were several bars and restaurants who had trouble the first years. The place I worked in at that time, we lost quite a lot. People started going home earlier. We lost the last 2 hours every night because instead of sitting at your table at the bar having a cig and ordered another beer, you went out to smoke and said, "Okay, I'm going home anyway." So it's quite the last 2 hours of the weekdays we lost about 90% of our sales, but almost immediately we started selling more food. So we were lucky. We made about actually a slightly better result than expected the first couple of months, which for us we believe mainly because one of the big reasons is that we serve very good food. I can't prove it, but that's what I think.
Yeah, and what I definitely believe is that you always give good recommendations for match between food and drinks.
We do our very best.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would really like to learn more about that another time. So in Sweden we have talking about these legal things. We have this requirement to serve food, to be able to serve alcohol.
It's a law. You have to have a kitchen that's made to serve varied food. So they slightly changed that. It used to be that pure sushi restaurants, for example, couldn't serve alcohol.
Yeah.
Because they only served one type of food. And the kitchen wasn't made to serve varied food. Even if you don't use it to serve varied food, you have to have a kitchen, which is quite expensive.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons that pure sushi restaurants never served alcohol in Sweden. It's changing now. They're thinking about changing the law.
Yeah.
And it also used to be a requirement to serve I think it was 90% of the sales had to be food.
90?
19.
19.
No, 19 had to be food, otherwise you could lose your license. So if you have to have a chef that's there making, if you have to build a kitchen, you might as well make money, so you have to serve good food. So for me, that's probably the greatest reason why Sweden used to have one of the best bar or pub foods in the whole world. Because if you had to have the kitchen and the chef there, you might as well use them for something.
Yeah. So in these 19% food sales, you said that all the snacks is also counted for.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why we pay for snacks in Sweden, and it's not always like that abroad. Because if you register the sales of peanuts and crisps and so as food,
Yeah.
you can manage to push your sales up to 20%, and be sure to keep your license.
Is that still a requirement with the 19%?
It's not a requirement. You're not. It's no legal requirement how much food.
Okay, just the possibility to serve food.
You have to have a menu that is varied, and also you have to have all the food in the menu. So you can't just have a menu. You have to be able to, at any time during opening hours, be able to serve the food. Which means that from the bar opens till it's roughly an hour before closing time.
Yeah.
You have to serve the whole menu, at least until 11 at night on weekends. Then after 11 at night till you close, you can have a night menu, but it also has to be cooked at the restaurant you're at.
Okay.
So it's not okay to have Billy's pan pizzas and so on and sell them. You have to have real cooked food.
Still, I keep hearing about other places that actually do that kind of solution with Billy's Pan Pizza. What's that about?
They've never got to court. It's if you've been around a couple of years and managed to, if you pay all your taxes and so, the controls are done more and more seldom. We're sort of a new place, 2 years now, and we had, I think, 6 checks after 11 o'clock that we serve food. And we serve food. We enjoy serving food because we have good food, so it's no problem for us. But if you go into a restaurant that don't serve food, you probably should start thinking about what other rules they don't abide to. So don't serve to say they don't pay taxes or something. Probably.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's the way I think. If they don't serve food, I want to give them my money because I can't be sure that they pay taxes.
Yeah. So to have a clean business, you should of course abide to that rule to have proper food at all hours.